Sarvayonishu Kaunteya 14.4 chapter, 4th verse. Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtayah Sambhavanti yaha Tasam Brahma Mahadyoni Aham Bija Pradapitaha. Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtayah Sambhavanti yaha Tasam Brahma Mahadyoni Aham Bija. Lord says, I am the Father. I am the seed-giving Father. Lord says. All the species, O son of Kunti, they are possible by birth in this nature. That means different types of bodies I only give. I am the seed-giving Father. Before that, the verse was the total material substance is known as Brahman. Jala Brahman has been mentioned. It is a source of birth. That means Mahat Tattva, on which Karanadakshayi Vishnu glances, impregnates the Mahat Tattva with Jiva Shakti, Kala Shakti, has been mentioned in 3rd verse. The Lord says, if a person understands the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, how this whole thing functions, they can attain the nature like me. And here now in this verse, Krishna says, I am the seed-giving Father. Generally we ask how this mango came from the seed, how the seed came from the mango tree, how the mango tree came from the seed. And if we really go back, who is the first seed-giving Father? That is Krishna. Okay. Pushpa, read.
Hare Krishna. Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibhadnanti mahabaho.
Motherji, you have to read the 4th verse.
4th verse?
4th verse.
Oh, sorry.
Sarvayonishu
Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavanti ya Tasam Brahma Mahadyonir Aham Bija Pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. In this verse, it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original Father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet, even on the highest where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities. Within the earth, there are living entities even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed-giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds. Hare Krishna.
Now, how the material nature influences the different types of species. Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinnamavyayam. So 3 modes of material nature, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. These are the 3 gunas, Prakriti Sambhavaha. They are the 3 gunas of the material nature. Nibadnanti. Nibadnanti means they become conditioned when they come in contact. Dehe dehinam avyayam. O Mahabaho, Nibadnanti, they become conditioned or bound when dehi means the soul, comes in contact with this material nature, which is a part of the body, dehe. Anyhow, dehi is eternal. Dehi nos me nitha dehe komaram yavaram jara. We saw that. The dehi means soul. Dehe means body. The body is governed by this material nature. And the soul comes in contact with the material nature and becomes bound. Nibhadnanti, becomes bound. Even if he knows it is wrong, but still he is bound to act in such a way because of the previous life impressions, because of the karmic reactions. Even though a person knows that he is wrong, but still he is doing it. Like getting angry is not good, but still he does it or not. Gets angry, becomes wild. Why? Previous life impressions. Knows drinking is not good, but still does. Knows illicit sex is not good, but still has. So even though all this is there, everything, even though knowledge is there, even a knowledgeable person also becomes bound because of the three modes of material nature, which is very, very powerful. It is like the three strings which holds the Katputli. Knows it is wrong, but still makes it dance. So the soul comes in contact with the body, which is the product of this material nature, and becomes bound to the three modes of material nature. Okay, Saurabh, breathe.
सत्वं रजस्तम इति गुणः सत्वं रजस्तम इति गुणः प्रकृति संभवः निबध्नन्ति महाबाहो देहे देहिनमव्ययम्. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. The living entity, because he is transcendental, has nothing to do with this material world, material nature. Still, because he has become conditioned by the material world, he is acting under the spell of three modes of material nature. Because living entities have different kinds of bodies, in terms of the different aspects of nature, they are induced to act according to that nature. This is the cause of the varieties of happiness and distress.
Okay. Now, how does a person who is predominantly in the mode of goodness behave? What are his characteristics? It is not that he is completely in the mode of goodness. No. No single person is completely in the mode of goodness or in the mode of passion or in the mode of ignorance. It's always a permutation combination. When the sattva is more, he is generally known as a good person. How are his characteristics? Tatra sattvam nirmalatva prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanagha. Tatra sattvam nirmalatva. The person in the mode of goodness is generally nirmala. Nirmala means very pure. Inside, outside, you can believe him. Whatever is outside, that only is inside. There is no duplicity. He is very pure, nirmala. Prakashakam, very knowledgeable. Always interested in gaining knowledge. Now, we are not talking about spiritual knowledge, but this is the platform even to attain spiritual knowledge. And here, even before coming to spirituality also, he is interested. He is interested in gaining knowledge. There are so many types of knowledge. People like to spend time in reading something like science or something like that, which has a sense, no senseless, which has sense, but material sense. Now, we are not talking about anything about devotional service. We are only talking about materialistic knowledge. There are some materialistic knowledge which is very good. You see, there are people who are studying Prakashakam, Anamayam. He has no sinful reactions. He doesn't have sins, so very sinful reactions. He's a very simple person. Sukha Sangena. He experiences Sukha because his nature is so mild, very nice, very loving to everyone. Sukha Sangena. That is why he experiences happiness. But what happens? This Badhanati, this happiness, this Sukha also binds him. So nobody wants to lose that wonderful situation of Sukha. Jnana Sangena Chanaga. Now it is binding him, this happiness and the knowledge. Which knowledge? Material knowledge. This material knowledge and the happiness is binding him. You see, the material happiness, material knowledge, the person wants to have more material knowledge. Goes on. And then people praise him. That praises also binds him. Sukha also binds. Nobody wants to lose the sukha. So even mode of goodness binds a person. That is why don't be too good, because people expect you to be more good. Generally, we like to be very good to the people, very helpful to the people. Oh, what will happen even if I talk a little more? Very good. This goodness also binds a person. That is why be divine in the society. Give Krishna consciousness. Be divine. Think twice before you act. He said. So trying to be good will make you more bind in this society. If you're divine, it doesn't mean that you're bad. In divinity, you are giving divinity to others. Divinity is beyond getting name and fame. Somebody should praise me. I'm not obliged. Whatever you do, it is out of the eagerness to give Krishna consciousness. Eagerness to give Krishna consciousness. If you're eager to give Krishna consciousness, no problem. No Krishna conscious person is bad. In fact, he crosses even the good. He is divine. That is why give divinity to everyone. Now, Prabhupada has given a big purpose for mode of goodness. Generally, mode of passion in ignorance can be understood. How is it that mode of passion, mode of goodness also binds a person? That's a big purpose is there. You try to help everyone. There is always an expectation this person will come and help. And when you help, you think that you are the one who is helping. That false sense of ego comes. Even if a person doesn't want name, fame, still from within, I help. That comes. Because still Ishavase Vidam Sarvam is not understood. Everything belongs to Krishna. I am just a tool. That sense is still not there. Sometimes people say, मेरा नाम नहीं छापना, मैं बस ये हाथ से देता हूँ, वो हाथ से नहीं समझता हूँ. This is all only a talk. Within the heart, what? All organs know that you have done it. Even if all organs doesn't know, your mind is always carrying that impression. I am the one who helped. Without me, what? Institution will never function. I am the Mata, Dhata, Pita, everything. So that type of without me, my family doesn't move. I am the soul of everything. So this type of doership comes because he does. Doership is only when you do something, isn't it? But because he is a mild person, he is not like a passionate person. He hides it, but still it is there. Because he gets a lot of good reactions. And that good reactions bind him. Nobody wants to lose it. In passionate person, this is like he wants to show off. Passion means show off. Goodness means conceal it. But still, because he's good, he gets good reactions bind. Okay, big purpose. Mayur Prabhu, please read.
तत्र सत्वं निर्मत्वात् प्रकाशक मनामयम् सुखसंगेन बध्नाति ज्ञानसंगेन चानघ. O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Purport. The living entities conditioned by material nature are of various types. One is happy, another is very active, and another is helpless. All these types of psychological manifestations are causes of the entity's conditioned status in nature. How they are differently conditioned is explained in this section of Bhagavad Gita. The mode of goodness is first considered. The effect of developing the mode of goodness in the material world is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. The man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by material miseries. and he has a sense of advancement in material knowledge. The representative type is Brahm, Brahmana, Brahmana, who is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due
Brahmana.
to Brahmana.
Huh.
The
How
representative type,
the four varnas come? It is defined by this mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. Brahmana means predominantly in the mode of goodness. Kshatriya means passion accompanied by goodness. You cannot call Aurangzeb as Kshatriya, but you can call Shivaji as Kshatriya. Both fought only. But the Kshatriya dharma is Kshatraya Kshatriya, one who protects. That means goodness, it is driven by goodness. Passion should be driven by goodness. Once Prabhupada told his disciples, go and distribute books. They really sincerely went and distributed and gave. Prabhupada said, how much money did you collect? They said, you told now distribute and come. We just gave free and came. Prabhupada said, doesn't work. Our temple will not work like this. It should be driven by mode of passion also. But inside the desire to be goodness. That means passion also should be there. Without passion, how will you collect the funds? What is the difference between a devotee's work and a karmi's work? Devotees use the modes to perform the activity. Shilpa, mute your phone. One is using the mode, one is entangled by the mode. Like you want to sleep. You cannot say, I'm transcendental to the modes. No. You are using the modes to sleep. Ignorance will make a person sleep. Without ignorance, how will you sleep? When you say ignorance, here that type of forgetfulness of Krishna is not told. In English, the word is ignorance for both. In Sanskrit, this is known as tamas. And ignorance is known as moha. Difference. But in English, mode of ignorance and ignorance, both have been told. One is mode, which is also known as mode of ignorance, tamas, which makes a person sleep. Another is ignorance, that means forgetfulness of Krishna. But forgetfulness of Krishna is also there in mode of goodness person also. It can be there in the mode of passion also. Now, who is a Vaishya? Who has passion but driven by tamas? And who is Shudra? Predominantly in the mode of ignorance, tamas. Okay, read.
the representative type is the Brahmana, who is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due to understanding that in the mode of goodness, one is more or less free from sinful reactions. Actually, in the Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and greater sense of happiness. The difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in the mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. The best example are the scientist and the philosopher. Each is very proud of his knowledge, and because they generally improve their living conditions, they feel a sort of material happiness. This sense of advanced happiness is conditioned life makes them bound by the mode of goodness of material nature. As such, they are attracted toward working in the mode of goodness. And as long as they have an attraction for working in that way, they have to take some type of body in the modes of nature. Thus, there is no likelihood of liberation or of being transferred to the spiritual world. Repeatedly, one may become a philosopher, a scientist, or a poet, and repeatedly become entangled in the same disadvantage of birth and death. But due to the illusion of the material energy, one thinks that that sort of life is pleasant. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, he becomes famous, no? A scientist, a poet, philosopher. They always think themselves, we are very intelligent. We don't want to mix with those who are duffers. So they get the position also. You see how much position a scientist gets, a professor gets. If a person has done his big positions, like he is a very good, wonderful doctor, or he's an engineer, he gets position. That position and that fame, that recognition binds him. He's a good person. He's very helpful, very timely. People can sit that watch according to his activity, very peaceful. The family which eats together, lives together, such type of family, always bound to the family. Without the family, he cannot stay. So much. He's like very good person, very wonderful. But what is the result? Golden chain, golden shackle, which is going to bind him in this world. Sometimes you see family members, they love each other so much. That is why Kunti Maharani says, she says, my attraction to my children makes me tell you, Krishna, don't leave Hastinapur. Let my attraction to my children, please remove this, be removed, so that my mind is just focused on you. Sometimes we are too much attracted to our family members, and family members also bind us so much. But without this family, there is no family. Actually, in the past life and next life, who is your family member? In past life, who was my father? Who was my mother? Who was my sister? I don't know. This bhaiya mere, behna mere, this is too much, isn't it? Or maiya mere. What happens is, because of all this bondage, a person is not able to advance in devotional service. And he feels, yes, he's recognized. Now here, there is no tinge of devotional service. He's a very good person. Now you can see many societies. You have to watch, you have to understand this, open your eyes and look at the activities. Ours also, others also. How much our activity is driven by the mode, and am I really Krishna conscious? It doesn't mean that you should hate your family. You should love your family. In fact, you should bring your family in Krishna consciousness. You're not hating anyone. You're in fact taking everybody in Krishna consciousness. At the same time, unattached. It's the most difficult thing to do. You are not supposed to leave anyone. At the same time, you are not supposed to live with them also. Don't leave also, don't leave also. So how should be a person? He should be like a lotus. Lotus lives in the pond, but not wet. In the same way, live in the kitchen of this material world. At the same time, be neutral. But outside, you can show your side of everyone. Why you have to drag everybody in Krishna consciousness? You cannot leave people. Now let us see what is this Rajas person. Rajorakatmakam vidhi Krishna sangam samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Rajoragatmakam vidhi Krishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Rajoragatmakam vidhi. Rajas. Rajas means passion. And what is the source of passion, or how the passion is born? Raga Atmakam. It is born out of desire, too much of desire, too much of lust. And because of that, hankering is there. When that goodness advances more, the ego level has become more, then the hankering starts. Ye dil mange more. The movie also is there. Initially, people gave respect, wonderful. I'm not still satisfied. I want more. So the same goodness now takes the turn of passion, where hankering for name, fame, that hankering is there. And that hankering, tanni badanati. That is why when the spiritual master wants you Be careful. Don't be so bound. If you take it another way, you'll be really bound. When our acharyas speak, that don't become so indebted. That means it is not told that don't do anything. You have to do your kartavya. At the same time, not so much where not needed. Like catching the hand. And the other person is there, now you will catch an hand. You catch the hand and bring. Why? Oh, मैं तो अच्छा बच्चा हूँ. Somebody is there, na? What happens when you don't listen to your spiritual master who says when knowledge can only come when you don't have this show off tendency. Don't try to become too good. That too good will make you too passionate also. You have to do your kartavya. Everybody has to do the kartavya. But if it is really required, not just for the social cause. Like somebody is there to look after your parent. You don't have to jump in. Your sister is looking after your parent. Your brother is there. Sister is there. Everybody pounces on the same person, not necessary. Krishna has made arrangement for everyone. If your services in the temple is more important, then you should prefer there. Like Urmila did not go along with Lakshmana. Why? She did not even bother what people will think. Oh, I have not followed my husband. Sita ji told, I will come along with you, Rama. Because it's my Arthika Dharma also, Paramarthika Dharma also. Everybody has two dharmas, Arthika, Paramarthika. Now, if a person has to really progress in devotional service, he should give weightage to Paramarthika Dharma. Nowadays, what happens is Paramarthika Dharma is left behind, giving more importance to Arthika Dharma. In fact, Ramayana teaches us Arthika Dharma at one time can be given up if Paramarthika Dharma is the need of the hour. So it is that is why devotional service is not so easy. It can be understood only at the shelter of our spiritual master. It's not so easy. At the same time, it's not difficult also. But if you always have a crooked thought, then it's the most difficult process. Then the desire to serve also goes away. How to understand we are going behind? Desire to serve goes away. Desire to associate goes away. Initially, you see, I want to serve. I want to serve. Hankering is there. Slowly, why it goes away? Because modes. These modes play a very beautiful game. Modes doesn't allow us to progress in devotional service. That is a work. Mama Maya Duratyaya, Krishna says. My Maya is very strong. That is why to pull this, the living entity from the Maya, it is the Guru Shishya Parampara, which speaks, don't hanker. This hankering binds us. Like once I think I told this example. A person goes to Mayapur. It's a real thing. He wanted to put fans in the hall. He told the temple president, you change all the fan, I'll give you. Then next day he gave all the checks and all. New fan was put. He was staying there for 3 days. New fans in his presence. He was so happy. Then he came to see in the hall. Are these my fans? Yes. We changed. How will I know? Just put my name, at least initials. Okay, RK. Everywhere RK. Then he told only that ball. Put in all the fins also, na? Then all the fins, RK. The next day he comes and says, see, make it sure that when all are sitting, don't on the fan. At least people will come to know that I have given. Thus is the height of passion. Passionate person, his moral is honey, money is honey. For money, I'll do anything. Money is honey. And what is the moral of a Satoguna person? Simple living, high thinking. This is money, is honey. That is simple living, high thinking. So let us see. Gita Mataji read. Passion. Read.
Hare Krishna. रजोरागात्मगं विद्धि तृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनाम्. Translation: the mode of passion is born on unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kundi, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Purport: the mode of passion is characterized by the attraction between man and woman. Woman has attraction for man, and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in the mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation, and he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife, and house. These are the products of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activities and thus becomes bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children, and society, and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of the mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? Hare Krishna.
Sometimes you think, oh, my family, my sister, brother, everybody is chanting. We are in the association of devotees. It is like Brahman Bhojan. Yeah, I am feeding my husband, no? He's a Brahmana. Is it Brahman Bhojan? Brahman Bhojan means you have to call a Brahmana and feed. Association of devotees means it is not that your mother and father is not a devotee. Why Kunti Maharani told, let my affection to my children be removed. Now Pandavas, can our family relations be more than Pandavas? Whatever you say, that family devotion, the family love has the tinge of passion. Somebody told, I told, come along with the devotees. Yeah, in our house, all are devotees. We are going for yatra. Now, is it called a yatra? In yatra, you will not talk extra talks. You will not talk anything extra. What you will talk about about satsang, about the place, information of the place, everything. I told him, see, no doubt your family is a devotee. But going along with the family is not called yatra. Because you are not sitting and giving class. And when your child comes and tells, Papa, mere ko ice cream chahiye, you are not going to say, don't eat. You will somehow see that you are fulfilling the desire of your children. So, sometimes the devotees get confused. First, they will hanker for the association of devotees. Afterwards, because all the families they are chanting, they will think that this is only the association now. First, come out of this family bondage, and which is very difficult. The most difficult in this world is family bondage. That is actually partial. Even though the family may be very good, but coming out of this partial is very difficult. Tamastvam tamastvakyanam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabhis tannivadnati bharata. Now what is tamas? Now Money is honey. Passion. When the passion intensifies, that is tamas. Because it is now too much hankering, too much desire, completely forgotten about his own self. Actually, who am I? I'm servant of Krishna. Not having desire to associate with the devotees, trying to be along with the family, or friend. And then what happens? It leads to pramada, alasya, nidra. We have to be very careful. Why this chapter is there for us? Krishna is speaking this to Arjuna for us. Because when the passion intensifies, he becomes mad, pramada. Maddened for material hankerings, mad. He's a mad person. Paisa, paisa, paisa. That is why he doesn't get time. He has no time. Sometimes you see, in the beginning, people have a lot of time. Afterwards, no time. Why? Because driven by tamas. It happens. That's why we should value what we have got and work on what we have got. Krishna is actually warning us. This pramada means maddened. Alasya. What is this alasya? He is lazy in Krishna consciousness. This is tamasic. Lazy not only in Krishna consciousness, lazy in materialistic activity also. Nidra, always tired. Ask him, always tired, always sleepy. So such people, tamasic people, can never study spiritual scriptures. Only at that level of goodness, slowly, he has to transcend this mode and come to the level of goodness and transcend even that also. Sattvam sanjayate jnanam. That is why ahara, everything has to be changed so that he becomes good person. Only a good person can accumulate knowledge. There is a scope to learn at the level of goodness. But if there is an acharya like Srila Prabhupada, even a tamasic person can be uplifted to the mode of goodness. That is why ahara has been taken care. Lot of care has been taken in the ahara. Ahar shuddha sattva shuddhi. Everybody has been given one single instruction, offer everything to Krishna and then take. That is how sattvic ahara is taken. Satoguna is nurtured. Everyone has satoguna. Some may have more, some may have less. So this will protect. Or tamasic means pramada, alasya, nidra. Okay. And what is his moral? Beg, borrow, steal. Hook or crook. Why? Ajnanam is completely in forgetfulness of Krishna. Mohanam, he is completely illusioned. Sarvadehina, in this way, is completely illusioned. Why all the time the example of the family is given? Because generally, the mohanam is only because of the deep attraction, deep affection. One has to come out of all these things. Is most important. Okay. Okay, who will read? Hari Chaitanya Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Mataji. Wait 1 minute.
Yeah.
तमस्त्व ज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिस्तन्निबध्नाति भारत. Translation. O son of Bharat, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. In this verse, the specific application of the word to is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. But the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad, and a madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Vastu yatha maya jnanan jnana varkamam viprayaya jnanan
Jnana
janakam
Janakam.
tamaha. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died, and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion. This another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Yes. We'll stop here. Go to sleep. It's late also. Today I had to go to Bombay side. So satsang program was there. That's why I came late. Okay. Any doubts? Okay, we'll stop here. Chaturtharudashak pasindu Tanam Pavani Vishnu.